New data just came out showing a decrease in crime in 2024. He's sending out his goons and masks and everyone else in his private police force. That's what's happening now. Authoritarian regimes begin by targeting people who are least able to defend themselves. California, as it relates to crime suppression, but we're now expanding it to 3 additional areas in the state, notably LA, San Diego, and other parts of the Central Valley. Teams, minimum teams of 15. They'll include K-9 teams. They'll include lieutenants, sergeants, and 10-plus officers. Will surge up. These will be unannounced. They'll be mobile. They'll be expanded. The issue of reduction in crime is an important issue.
So Gavin Newsom now rethinking his strategy after discovering that maybe Americans do like living in safe communities. New polling shows that 53% approval of how Trump is handling crime, and 81% think crime is a major problem. So joining us now is Republican Florida Congressman Greg Steube. So what do you think about this epiphany from the California governor?
Yeah, it's amazing. They're probably actually looking at polling. You know, fighting crime used to be a bipartisan thing. And over the past 4 or 5 years, maybe even a decade, we've seen Democrats be fine with illegal immigrants, be fine with murderers and rapists coming into our country. And now, because Gavin's obviously wanting to look towards running for president and be the Democratic nominee, he's got to actually face reality and face what the polls are showing and face what's happening on the ground in California and these other big cities, the looting, the rioting, the crime. People are fleeing his state and coming to the great state of Florida because they don't want to live in environments like that, and they want to live in places that they feel safe.
Yeah, Congressman, so Governor Newsom, question about whether his crime crackdown is a reaction to Trump's National Guard threat. Listen to his answer here.
We're not reacting or responding to anything, quite the contrary, with one caveat. The community wants to see more. And we are trying to be responsive to the people we serve.
So why all of a sudden is crime an issue in California?
Because it's such a bad issue for Americans. Americans, just like you said, want to live in safe communities. They want to live in safe cities. And even Mayor Bowser in D.C. admits that what the president did in D.C. has made a drastic reduction in crime. It's like an 87% reduction in crime in the nation's capital. And that's because of the actions that President Trump has taken. And so Democrats are trying to see now that the populace is saying, hey, this is a pretty good idea to crack down on crime. We want to live in safe communities. They got to try to follow that up.
Yeah, we'll see how they change that rhetoric. So Newsom is revealing that the Trump administration keeps sending him something in the mail. Watch this.
I don't think Donald Trump wants another election. You think for a second I have 24 Trump 2028 hats. His folks keep sending me.
And you think he's going to run again?
So theoretically speaking, would Newsom stand a chance against Trump in 2028, which he can't run again, matchup? And could Newsom stand up to, say, J.D. Vance or even Secretary Marco Rubio?
Yeah, I think that's hilarious. They're sending him Trump 2028 hats. That's great. No, absolutely not. The American people spoke overwhelmingly to support President Trump. His policies win. Gavin Newsom's policies lose. Just look at the amount of people that are fleeing California every single day to come to states like Florida that have freedom and other states that respect our citizens.
I want to get this in. I want to change gears quickly. You're on the Ways and Means Committee. So today we learned more about the pocket rescissions the president wants. What do you make about that move, using these pocket rescissions?
He's got to do that. The administration has to cut spending, and all of those appropriations bills that passed previously prior to Trump coming into office, obviously he can rescind spending that they're not spending anymore. It's a great idea. We have a spending problem in Washington, D.C. We're $37 trillion in debt, and any opportunity that the administration can pull rescissions and do spending cuts, we absolutely have to get that done. And Congress has to be serious about spending cuts, and we have to do that as well.
Yeah, this package, $5 billion, so it's little by little by little. He's trying to add up to a big number, it seems. I appreciate it. Congressman Greg Steube from the great state of Florida, thank you.